Carolyn saying, Aretha, come by when you can. I've got something that I want to say. And when I got there, she said, you know, rather than go through a long, drawn-out thing, I think the melody on the box will help me explain. Gotta find me an angel to fly away with me. Gotta find me an angel. Ooh, and set me free. My heart's without a home. I don't want to be alone. I gotta find me an angel in my life. In my life. Too long have I loved, so unattached with me. So much that I know that I need somebody so I'll just go hoping that I'll find me someone, find me an angel in my life, in my life.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Leo the Lioness Queen. If you happen to like what you see on this channel, please make sure to click that subscribe button and also like the video. A very special shout out to all of my beautiful elements and a very special shout out to all of the Aries. If you happen to be celebrating a birthday on this evening, I would like to wish you a very special and blessed happy birthday. And to any new subscribers, thank you so much for making a choice to click on this channel. And hopefully you'll like what it is that I have to bring. Yes, she definitely had a one-of-a-kind voice. I love all of Aretha's songs, but I say Spanish Harlem, Angel, what else? Until You Come Back to Me, Rock Steady, all of that. Love them songs. She definitely did have one of a kind. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. I apologize for being an hour late. I had a lot going on today, and I was trying to make sure I had all the mommy stuff done first. Also, too, you know, if I happen to get a knock at the door, y'all already know what it is. It's Sunday, okay? So let's get into it. Now, first of all, if you guys want to click on a link at any time, please feel free to do so if you want to join within this discussion. So for this show, we will be discussing episode 1 of Genius, Aretha, and this episode was entitled Respect. Now, before I begin, how many of you have actually watched the series thus far? I don't care if you just watched the first episode. Let me know in the chat. Have you watched it? Leo, I cried and I knew what to expect. I was triggered. Oh my God, you were just lovely. Yes, it was sad. It was really, really sad. First starting off, the actress. Oh, hey, Sunshine. Oh, you have? Okay. So first starting off, the actress that they have playing Aretha. So far, I am very, very impressed with her. I've gotten to episode 5. I think that she's done an excellent job. Now, I'm not going to lie. I had to basically kind of calm down when she first started, and I first started hearing her sing, because she has a beautiful voice. But I had to realize, like, okay, she's not going to sound exactly like Aretha Franklin. As she got to singing more and more, I started to really enjoy the way that she was singing. Her mannerisms, everything, to me, I think she embodied Aretha. You get what I'm saying? She did an excellent job. Yes, she did an excellent job. Okay, really good. And I like overall how they flashed from different parts of Aretha's life, and they would go back to like different things that happened in her childhood. To me, they were trying to basically show why she was the way that she was. Why did she look at certain things the way that she did once she got older? Okay. Hey, sis. Hey, how you doing? You said you wonder how Screamer gonna do. Lord, chat, we're not about to even go there. Okay. But anyway, okay. So the episode starts off in 1967. Okay. And basically Aretha is on a stage. She is performing Chain of Food. She's on there. The first 2 people you see, which end up being her sisters, Carolyn and Irma, were her background singers, okay? So she's on stage, she performed and everything. So then it gets to flashing to her. No, after you see her performing and everything, it flashes to her having to answer all these questions from the press. The press all around her. She hot, she popping. Hey, Sam, I am. She hot, she popping. So they're asking her all different type of questions. They're asking her questions about where is her king, which is her husband. Then they're asking her questions about her children. They're asking her questions about, you know, with her starting off in the church, how does she feel people will feel about her singing this type of music? They ask about the relationship when it comes to her father and her husband, like who's in charge, you know, who, you know, are they basically having an issue? They were kind of insinuating. And she was just answering very matter of fact. She was very kind of mum about certain things, you know, and she was basically saying, y'all been reading too many tabloids or whatever. She was very close to the chest when it came to her personal business, okay? So then it flashes to her back in her dressing room. She's leaning on the door, and you can tell that she's just in some type of distress, okay? She just, you know, she's closing her eyes. She done got out of all these people all out of her face. That's what we're thinking at the time in the beginning of the episode. Also, I skipped over a part. We see a man who is her husband at the time, which is Ted White, okay? Yes, Rizzo, let me see what she said. The actress that plays young Aretha is yes, she definitely is. Hey, Stephanie. Okay, guys. So again, we see her husband. She's in the dressing room. Something is clearly troubling her, okay? And I'm looking at my notes, guys. I got to get good at this, so give me a chance. So next thing, it flashes to Aretha and Ted. They're driving to the Fame studio to record with Jerry Wexler, okay? And they're just talking about, you know, she basically saying, like, I think she was at Columbia or something, and she was like, they don't get me. I guess she had been there. She wasn't too much having any luck with it, you know, and she was basically like, I've been here with these people for 6 years. I don't feel like they're getting me, but I feel like Jerry Wexler will get me. You get what I'm saying? So they're talking about that on the way to the studio. So she starts to sing a gospel song, and I will trust in the Lord, as they're rolling along. Then it flies back to when she's back in 1954 with her father. Her and her father are in the car or whatever. They're in the car and they're driving somewhere or whatever. And she's singing, I will trust in the Lord or whatever. No, they're listening to a gospel song. Okay. So she's having fun in the back. She clapping, the father, you know, they having their little thing going on. So next thing you know, they happen to blow a tire. As the father gets out the car to try to fix the tire, two men ride up, two white men, because of course, racial tension, it was terrible back then. Okay. Two men drive up, they get out of their truck or whatever, and they're basically saying, like, we know you're not from here. What the hell you doing around here? You know, where are you from? And the father, like, I'm from Detroit, Michigan, but he tells little Aretha to get in the car. So as she get in the car, she starts to sing, I will trust in the Lord, because she see that something is clearly going on. So one of the guys who had got out the truck initially grabbed the bat, and he hit the back of the window where Aretha was sitting. So you see glass just flash on her or whatever. And the father picks up a crowbar. So once he picks up a crowbar, the two guys like, okay, you know, they kind of bagging back. And that was before also the guy made a very snide remark concerning Aretha. Now she's a little girl at this point. And he basically was like, you know, she looks like my wife or something, or like my girl or something. And he like, that's my daughter. And Aretha, I think, was 10 years old at the time. So the white man not only stopping them in order to basically be racist, but you're making a sexual innuendo towards my little girl. So he wasn't buying it. So once he pulled out the crowbar, that's when the two guys backed up. And then he pretty much handed over his car keys. He was like, y'all want this car? He fucked their mind up because they like, wait a minute, what you mean? Do we want this car? It was a nice car for back then. He handed them over the keys, told Aretha to get her stuff. They grabbed their suitcases and they walked on. And as they walking on, little Aretha like, I'm so scared. You know, that was really scary, Daddy. Why did you give them your car? And he was basically like, you know, because I wanted to see the look on their face. Because back then, he was a really, you know, he had a lot of money. They wasn't expecting for Black people to have money, and he had money. You know, he was a famous preacher. He was around a lot of greats, a lot of jazz greats, a lot of blues greats. And the reason why he was such a popular figure back then is because a lot of preachers looked at blues, jazz, anything that was outside of gospel music, they looked at it as the devil's music. He was the preacher at the time that didn't look at it like that. He felt like all music came from God. And so he didn't make people who were in that world feel like they were not, you know, worthy of the glory of God. So that's why he became so famous. And also because they said he was a great preacher. He would mix, you know, blues influence, jazz influence into the music, even the way that he talked. He knew how to command the audience. So he had a lot of money, you know, even back then. Yeah, racial tension was high. My goodness. Yes. Hey, Felicia Fee. Okay, guys. So are you guys following me along so far? Okay, good. All right. So then he goes and buys another car. He buy another car. He bought it cash. And the car salesman, of course, who was white, was like, where did you get this amount of money from? And he like, it, you know, basically like, don't you believe in God? Is all from God. He basically saying like, nigga, it don't fucking matter. I got this cash. I know this is fucking your brain up because I'm a Black man, but I know you're going to take this cash. So let's stop all the talking and just give me my motherfucking car. And he ain't say all that, but that's what he was thinking. Okay. He had a little bit more tact than that at that time. So they got the car. So then it flashes back to Aretha and Ted White. They have finally made it to the Muscle Shoals studio. Okay. They walk in. They meet Jerry Wexler. You know, he was very polite to Aretha, and he like, you know, I'm glad that you're here. You can trust me and everything like that. He like, let me introduce you to the band. Exactly. Felicia Fee, exactly. His attitude was music is universal, make a joyful noise. Exactly. That's what it was. So he goes in there and he basically introduces her to the band. This was supposed to be the best band ever. I forgot exactly who the hell they play. Oh, it was Wilson Pickett's band or whatever. And so when she walks in and see the band, she noticed that they're all white. And so it's kind of throwing her off. And I imagine too, it's probably throwing her off because she grew up in a time to where it was a lot of racial tension. I think it was very sweet the way they made it to where they put the thing with her and her father, what they went through with the men trying to attack them. And then they put this part next to where they're showing how she's looking like all these white men. You get what I'm saying? Because of the fact she probably assuming that these white men don't know how to play the music that she wants them to play, but also too because of everything she done grew up and seeing. And then they also said Aretha was very afraid to meet new people. She was very leery of new people. You said Muscle Shoals was really great. Yes. You know, so she was already a person who was very leery of meeting new people. She was really an introvert. You know, when she came alive, it was when she was on the stage or, you know, when she was just messing around drinking. Once she got comfortable with you, that's when she would come out. But other than that, they said Aretha was very introverted. So she even said it to one of the musicians as they were introducing themselves to her. She like, you white. And he looked at her like his little feelings was hurt. So then Jerry Wexler came and got her and basically, you know, like, look, you know, they are the best. I promise they the best. You can trust me. And so she goes and sits down at the piano. She sits down at the piano. And wait, hold on, guys. Sorry. Okay. So she sits down at the piano and she's trying to basically get the sound or whatever. They start playing Never Loved a Man. That's what Ted White basically said, to play Never Loved a Man. So they get the plan and it's going fast and everything. And she just cuts them out. She like, stop, because she wasn't feeling it. Okay. She was like, no. The sound is off. So they end up doing like 47 takes of the song because they were trying to find out what's the sound. You know, they were trying to get what she wanted, you know. And then I know it can be uncomfortable as a musician or as an artist. You have something in your head and you're trying to depend on people that you just met. The groove got to be right. That's just how I feel. Don't y'all feel like that? Even when you just meeting somebody, period. The vibe got to be right. And sometimes you got to take some time to find that. So as they keep doing take after take, the musicians is kind of getting frustrated with it. And her husband, Ted White, was kind of being impatient himself. And Jerry Wexler was telling him, he like, look, give them time. They trying to find the sound. Give them time. So he goes into Aretha, like it's getting so much to where even one time she got up and walked away from the piano. He went back in there and he said, Aretha, just simply be Aretha, which basically he was telling her, because not only was she a fantastic singer, as we all know that Aretha could play the fuck out of a piano. Okay. And the majority of times, you know, when she was performing, you know, she'd sit down and play the piano. And so he was basically telling her, just do what it is. Even though we got all this stuff for you right here, sit down and do what it is that you are used to doing so that you can be comfortable. Okay. And that's exactly what happened. It started to kind of like come together. She started to get comfortable with the musicians. She started trying to talk to them or whatever, and stuff kind of started to mold itself out. Ted was at least 10 to 15 years her senior, if not more. Yes, exactly. Okay. So that's what happened when it came to that. So it goes back to Detroit in 1953. This is where we see her father preaching at New Bethel. Okay. Aretha was singing in the choir. And then we see a beautiful woman, and They go outside, they're talking to the parishioners, okay? And the woman name was Melba. Now, this is where I'm going to bring the book in respect, because I told you I'm going to go back and forth between the book and what we're seeing in the thing. Now, the lady name was Melba. When you first flashed to her, people would assume that that was Aretha's mother. We didn't know who the woman was at first until one of the parishioners outside basically brought up the fact, like, you know, we know that your wife is in heaven. Because other than that, we just thinking this is the mother. But it ended up being a lady named Melba. In the book, her name was Lola, if this is the same woman, because I know it was a woman that he got with. You know, C.L. Franklin was a hoe. But it was a woman that he got with and started dating not too long after Aretha's mother died. And in that scene, Aretha was 10 years old. Aretha's mother died at 10. I mean, when Aretha was 10 or whatever. She was 34 of a heart attack. She died. So this is the woman that he's dating. Stop laughing at me. So next thing you know, it flashes to C.L. Franklin's house, his home, after church or whatever and stuff. And, you know, the first thing you see a guy smoking weed. You see people dancing. You hear music going on. Art Tatum, who was a famous pianist back then, he was playing the piano that was played by Robert Glasper or whatever. Shout out to Robert Glasper. I love him. Played for Erykah Badu, Jill Scott, a whole bunch of stuff. So anyway, it's a whole bunch of famous people in the house. So that's also another highlight. Aretha grew up around a lot of famous people. It was famous people all through her house continuously, okay? So, you know, they flash to Dinah Washington performing. Dinah Washington is performing. Now, at the time, we meet Ted. So Ted met Aretha when she was a little girl at 10 years old. He was dating the famous Dinah Washington at the time. Okay. So do y'all catch what they're showing here? They start off the episode with showing Ted as Aretha's husband as she's an adult, but he met her at 10 and was dating somebody famous that was in their house, which the dad ended up dating Dinah Washington as well. Okay. Because, you know, so she's in there performing and everything. So they're sitting on the stairs watching her perform. After she gets finished performing, they're sitting down there drinking, everybody doing their thing. And so he calls Aretha down and was like, you know, y'all know my daughter can sing. And so her and Dinah Washington did like a call and response or something. So Dinah sung, the little girl sung back, the little girl that plays little Aretha. She has a beautiful voice. Right, a whole grown woman. Yes, ain't that weird? They was off the chain, okay? So they're playing the call and response. So after Aretha wows them with the voice, her and Dinah get to talking. Now, Dinah is a grown-ass woman, and she kind of talk, and this is what I also noticed within this series. It's like these grown-ass people having a conversation with little Aretha. And to me, a lot of the conversations were very inappropriate. But she's talking to her about, you know, you have a beautiful voice, but be careful of men, you know, don't grow up too fast, don't get pregnant or whatever, and be careful of men because they son of a bitches or they assholes or whatever, okay? So that's basically how that went. So they go back to, so we flash back to the studio. Aretha is back in the studio, so her and the men, they done found the groove. They done found their whole sound. Everything is going great or whatever. Ted starts to get irritated or whatever, you know, because Aretha is in there playing, joking. You know, she got her Newport 100 out. And she playing and joking with the musician. She done got comfortable. Ted getting the attitude about the jokes, basically telling her quit making a fool of herself. And she basically making a joke back at him or whatever and stuff. She just trying to have fun. But he getting the attitude about it, fucking up the whole damn mood. So Jerry Wexler see what's going on. And he like, okay, cut it out. Aretha, just go back and record the damn bridge. Let's do it again. They record the bridge. Ted is looking at her crazy for some fucking reason. Yes, he was very jealous hearted. And I think, of course, he was hanging on her coattail or whatever, which pretty much we end up finding out in the series that he did the same shit when it came to Dinah Washington or whatever. But he was very jealous, but also too, to his credit, I also think it was also him also growing up in a racist society. You see all these white people, and you know, he probably also feeling a certain type of way. I'm quite sure he probably got fucked up when he was little, or had the same situations that happened to Aretha happen to him as well. So I think it was a combination of him being a jealous motherfucker and also trying to watch his investment, because he was a pimp. Okay. Watch his investment, but also too the racial tension in which he grew up in. But anyway, they're all outside. Aretha and them is playing horseshoes. It's all good. So it appears that Ted had calmed down. He calmed down for a second, and they're asking him different questions. They like, you say you met Aretha when, you know, she was a little girl. Yeah, I met her at her daddy's house. And the guy was like, I thought his daddy, her daddy was a preacher. And the guy, Ted was basically like, well, he liked Saturday nights and Sunday mornings, you know, basically saying like, yeah, he a preacher, but you know, whatever. You get what I'm saying? So as they're about to go back into the studio, the trumpet player was basically saying like, Aretha, I've never been to New York. Why don't you take me back in your suitcase? Ted heard that, got upset, and basically was getting, you know, just got upset and checked the trumpet player. And the trumpet player, like, you know, I didn't mean nothing by a brother. You know, I wasn't trying to, my bad. And he like, I don't want to hear that shit. That's my wife, blah, blah, blah. So it spills back over into the studio as they're about to try to record again. And he basically like, I want him fired. And Jerry Wexler looking at him like, what? What the fuck you mean you want him fired? And then the other guy that was sitting next to him, which was Rick Hall like, what? So Jerry Wexler like, Rick, just go ahead and fire him. So Ted just couldn't wait, got on the loud intercom or whatever, told the guy he was fired. The trumpet player like, damn, I didn't even say nothing to her or whatever. So he like, whatever, I'm fired. So he was so fucking mad. So he gets out of there. So of course that then threw the whole groove off from the other musicians. So Aretha like, you know, let's go ahead and play. So the drummer started playing all fucked up, you know, basically in essence letting her know like, you done fucked up our whole groove as well. Like that's some whole ass shit that you done did. We all been playing together. We got our whole sound going on. And you sitting up there letting your jealous ass husband fire him. And we supposed to go on like everything is cool. And so Jerry Wexler feeling the tension that has been created and knowing that they cannot play under them circumstances, he like, just Aretha, we gonna leave it. We gonna do it again tomorrow. Y'all go ahead and get up out of here because Ted done fucked up the whole goddamn thing or whatever. So Ted and Aretha gets back to the hotel. She's sitting up there smoking her Newport 100. And, you know, she just sitting there. She like basically asked him, like, what the fuck is the problem? You know, what happened to the promises that you made inside the car? You know, basically acting like you're going to be supportive of me. You see what the fuck I'm trying to do. Why did you have to fuck up the session like that? You know, and so he get to basically saying that the man was trying to talk to her or whatever. And she like, no, we were just having a conversation. And he basically was like, damn, you like white men now? Just being a jealous ass piece of shit. Right. Them messed up the thing. Shout out to fucking Dineva. So she just jumps up and throws a goddamn, they was eating some Chinese food apparently, threw the Chinese food at him or whatever. And, you know, they argue or whatever. You know, she basically like, you tripping, you know? And so she was like, how about I just don't do shit? How about I just shut up and sing? How about I don't make no eye contact with nobody? I don't do shit. I just go in there and motherfucking sing. Because she tired of the shit at this fucking point. I knew somebody who knew Aretha and used to tell these stories growing up. Yes, as a matter of fact, my older sister's auntie used to date her son. Okay. One of her cousins was actually at the fucking funeral. I was texting him while they was at the damn 10-hour funeral. Okay. So anyway. So next thing you know, Rick Hall, they hear a big ass knock at the door, hard knock at the door. And so it's Rick Hall. He came in the door mad as hell about what that happened. He like, why the fuck you fuck up my goddamn session earlier? Like, what the fuck you got going on? Like, you ain't the motherfucking star. She the goddamn star. So Ted and Rick start arguing at the door. And Ted's still on his bullshit. And he like, you know what? You want to call me a nigga? You know you want to call me a nigga. And Ted and Rick are like, no, motherfucker, we not even talking about it. I ain't even say that. I'm talking about why you fucked up my session. So they get to fighting and going back and forth. So Aretha just walk out of the motherfucker. She like, I ain't got time for the fuck shit. So they fighting. All you hear is bumping and fighting around. Aretha just take her Newport 100 just so calmly and just walk out the motherfucker. She ain't got time for it, okay? Right, come through, Rick. He like, fuck the bullshit you talking about, nigga. You fucking up my investment right now. He was mad as hell. But anyway, so it flashes back to Aretha Franklin when she's a little girl. She's 10 years old. And she happened to ask the woman that her daddy was dating at the time named Melba. She was like, what's a son of a bitch? I thought that was funny. And she was basically like, where you get that language from? You know, why is you talking like that? And she like, I just want to know what a son of a bitch is. So Melba was like, you know, it's a guy that don't do people right, but I don't want to hear you using that language, young lady. Next time you use that language, I'm going to wipe your mouth out with soap. And child, trust me, I know the whole soap, okay? I was cussing when I think I was in the 3rd grade. I got caught cussing, and I remember the teacher took my ass in the bathroom and made me wash out my mouth with that red ass motherfucking soap. Yes, Leo was bad as hell. I got paddled and every fucking thing because I couldn't shut the fuck up. This is on National Geographic, Lady P. It's called Genius Aretha, and it's 8 episodes. We're talking about the first episode, okay? Yeah, I couldn't shut the fuck up. So I remember that soap was nasty as fuck, okay? But anyway, so, you know, she basically, so it flashes back also to her getting mad at Ted. She came back to the room. She came back to the room to get her stuff. Ted shows back up. And you can see that as she's grabbing her stuff, they done fucked up the hotel room. Like, it's trash. So she basically like, I'm about to go. You know, I'm about to go. And where the fuck were you at? Any damn way. And she like, fuck this shit. I'm about to motherfucking go. Thank you, Tisa. And also, as a matter of fact, I have on the Tisa lashes, guys. These are the Tisa's lashes. Check out Babe Nation hair and wigs, child. I forgot to say it at the beginning. Okay. So she basically like, fuck this, I'm leaving. I'm going back to Detroit because you done fucked it up. I'm out of here. So she ends up back in Detroit. That's where we meet again, her father at this age. He got some new chick there, one of his women that he was dating or whatever, that to me was doing too goddamn much. Yes, lava soap. That red motherfucking soap, just lovely. Oh my God. Oh, and they also said it's playing on Hulu too, guys. All right. So anyway, she ends back up at the house. That's where we meet her older brother, Cecil. We meet Irma. We meet Carolyn. Irma is her older sister. Carolyn is the baby sister. Okay. Aretha was in the middle of those two, I believe. And then we meet her 2 children, which is Frank, because I know one of them was named after the father. Okay. I think his name, I know one of the children's name was Eddie. Eddie was the second one that was born. Okay. Wait, let me make sure I got it in my notes. What was her first son name? Because it was named right after her father. Was his name Franklin, y'all? I believe. I wrote it down in my damn notes. I got to get better at these damn notes. It look like chicken scratch. Hey, okay, Clarence. Okay, thank you. So you meet Clarence and you meet Eddie or whatever. Hey, Anthony. And, you know, she brings them toys and she tells them to go in the other room. You know, don't open up the toy yet or whatever. Or what? Yeah, because I forgot which one that my sister auntie had dated or whatever and stuff. So they're talking or whatever. The father kind of making little snide remarks when it come to Ted, because I'm assuming him and Ted, of course, had a thing going on. You know, they both was controlling, but at the same time, the father also remembers that, nigga, you used to date Dinah Washington back. You met my little girl when she was 10, but also too, I know I was fucking Dinah Washington as well. So we was both cheating, but it is what it is. So they got a kind of rivalry going on and shit. So he making all these smart snide remarks, and Aretha, you know, pretty much shut him down. Like, you know, this is my marriage. They basically like, are you gonna get back with him or not? And she like, look, that's my marriage and it's my business. What the hell I'm gonna do with my goddamn marriage? Shut up. I don't want to hear nothing from none of y'all. That's pretty much what she was saying. Okay. So so then it flashes to her sitting at the table or whatever. Yeah, she's sitting at the table with her siblings. Thank you, Francois. I'm trying to get it together. How did they ever get together? I think it may have been on the gospel circuit as Douglas or whatever, because they refer to the gospel circuit as the sex circuit. They said it was a lot of shit going on or whatever, inappropriate stuff that was going on. They were having threesomes, you know, sleeping with each other. They were not only having threesomes with each other, it was the men sleeping with the men, women sleeping with women, all type of shit. They just got wild as hell while they were on those gospel circuits and stuff. For some reason, the music just got them feeling hot or whatever. And that's just what the hell happened. So I'm assuming that well, no, he met her when she was 10, but they didn't, I guess he had been around or whatever the fuck happened and shit like that. That's what happened. So anyway, it flashes back to them being little kids or whatever, and he's telling Aretha that he's going to take her with him in order for him to make one of his gospel records. He used to make gospel records as far as him preaching, and so the other kids get upset, like, you know, why is you taking her? And he ended up taking her there in the studio, and she sees that he's in there with some woman, some blonde-haired woman or whatever. And, you know, she's basically saying, like, you need to take her on a gospel circuit with you because she has a beautiful voice. This is when they flash back to Aretha being a kid. Oh, when she was like 17, 18. Okay, cool. So it flashed back to her being a little kid. So the father got some bitch up there with some blonde hair. And, you know, they kissing on each other and everything. And the girl is saying, like, you need to take Aretha on this road with you because she has a beautiful voice. She's very cute. And a lot of people will like her. So the guy that was in there at the time, I don't forgot what he was doing. He basically told Franklin, he was like, no, you need to not take her on the road. Do you understand what goes on these gospel circuits? She is too young to be in the midst of that bullshit, okay? And he like, no, she'll be okay. So then it flashes back to them being back at the house with the lady Melba, okay? And so Melba is basically checking Franklin, like the same bitch that was in the studio with the blonde hair. She walked her messy ass up to Melba while she was in a grocery store trying to get her motherfucking groceries and basically let her know, like, bitch, I'm with your man, okay? So Melba was not feeling that shit. She like, hold up. So she checking him about that shit, okay? And so in the process of them arguing, Melba brings up his wife. You know, like, this is probably what your wife was going through. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know how to keep that dick in them pants or whatever. And so the father basically shaded the fuck out of her and basically told her, like, no, the reason why you here is because of the fact that you wanted to be respectable. What he say? You wanted to be, no, he told her that she got tired of being trash and wanted to be respectable, which was the reason why she was there. And so she got super pissed about that. She came down them stairs like, what the fuck you just say? And how she said it, he was like, oh, hell no, don't go trying to bring up my past. And before she could get out what the tea was, he slapped her. And what she was alluding to, if you guys do not know, she was alluding to the fact that how the fuck is you gonna sit up there and call me trash when not only had you been running around on your wife, but you got a 12-year-old girl pregnant, okay? So let me go into that because I wrote notes about that. let me see what y'all saying. CL was too drunk to take her on the and hot. Exactly. So yes, she ended up getting pregnant. He ended up getting a girl pregnant. Okay, he got 12-year-old Mildred Jennings pregnant. She was 12 years old. Okay, and so they end up having a daughter named Carol Allen. As a matter of fact, Carol Allen and Cecil, which I believe was the first son that him and Barbara had, which was Aretha's mother. Aretha's mother already had a son named Vaughn from a previous relationship. But Cecil and Carol Ann were both born in 1940. Okay. Now, a lot of people are saying that Aretha's mother ended up leaving because of him getting a 12-year-old girl pregnant. That's not true. She didn't leave until a few years after, okay, because Carol Ann was actually born before Aretha, okay? Carol Ann was born in 1940. He didn't have Aretha until 1942, okay? And she ended up leaving when Aretha was 6 years old, is when she ended up leaving. She took her and her son, Vaughn, and she ended up leaving because she was tired of his bullshit, and plus he was abusive to her. Inside the book Respect, they're saying that they never necessarily saw the father hit her, but they knew what was going on. They could hear all the commotion and everything like that. So she got tired of that shit and she fucking left. So Aretha was 6 years old at the time when the mother left, and she was very devastated. She said we were all, the older sister and brother Irma and Carolyn and Cecil, they were all saying that they were very, of course, upset when the mother left, but they said Aretha, it affected her the most, of course, because she was the youngest, okay? But they said that the mother had a beautiful voice. The mother could sing, could play the piano. That's how Aretha learned or whatever. And the mother had a good job. She was a nurse's aide or something like that. And she lived in a nice house. They saw her regularly. So even though she left and went back, I think, to Buffalo, they did see her regularly or whatever. You know, they would go visit. And the reason why pretty much he got to keep custody is because even though the mother was doing well for herself, she could not afford to take care of all 5 children. C.L. Franklin, on the other hand, he a real famous preacher at the time. He had a lot of money back then, you know, and plus he had a lot of influence. So that's why they got a chance to have to stay with him. And they said every time the weekend would come and it would be time for them to go, they said Aretha would just be so fucking devastated. So then the mother ends up dying when Aretha is 10 years old. And they said that she was inconsolable. She didn't speak for weeks or anything like that. They said that's when Aretha really, really went into herself when her mother died. So flashing back, thank you, Miss Diva, thank you. And so flashing back to the scene where the lady is leaving, she's in the cab and you see Aretha run after her because she wanted her father to marry this particular woman. You know, she wanted a mom. She felt like we need a mom. And Dad, you didn't just fucked it up. You know, we don't have no mom no more. And so it says in the book that this particular lady, that Aretha went running behind the cab. They said Aretha was inconsolable. So you see her running behind the cab and then she drops her little baby down. That part was very, very hard to see because you see that was another thing of somebody leaving her. Her mother died suddenly of a heart attack. You know, it was just suddenly. Then you got this other woman leaving and they said that she just went into herself or whatever. So that's what happened with that, unfortunately. Okay. So then it flashes to her performing at the church. It's the first time she performing at the church. Now, the person who she ended up meeting, I'm sorry, I had skipped the part. When Aretha went back home and you see, after she left Ted the first time, she met Ruth Boeing. Ruth Boeing is who would end up becoming her, what you call it? I ain't gonna say road manager or whatever, but basically her booking agent. She ended up becoming her booking agent. I believe she was her booking agent all the way up until she died. That's the part I skipped over. Now, Ruth already knew Ted. Her and Ted were actually very close. And the reason why they were close is because Ruth used to manage Dinah Washington. Okay. So she already knew exactly everything about their relationship. And even though her and Ted were very close, she knew how Ted was. She knew that Ted was a pimp. She also knew that Ted was a motherfucker when he got drunk. Now, referring back to the book, Ruth said that she remembered when she first met Aretha. She said Aretha just had so much sadness in her eyes. She described Aretha as a very traumatized child. She said that Aretha would sit in church. Yes, abandonment and emotional issues. Yes. She said that Aretha, as a little girl, would sit in church and she would just sit there. She wouldn't say anything. She would be so quiet. But she said that when Aretha would go up to sing, Aretha became a total different person. That was just totally where she let go of everything in her music. So also too, in a scene, you'll see Aretha talking to Jerry Wexler, and she was basically telling him, singing is my guardian angel. That's the only place where I feel safe. And she said, after going back to Ruth Bowen, she said after Aretha would get finished singing, she would sit back down, she would go back into herself, and that sadness would appear on her eyes. They said she always, even though she appeared to be a very confident person, she struggled with a lot of insecurity, a lot of abandonment issues, losing her mother, wanting a mother. And also too, her father being overbearing. He was good to her, but he was overbearing at the same time, because y'all even remember in the episode, Dinah Washington asked her, what do you want to be? Do you want to be a singer, or is it what your dad want? And even at a little age, Aretha was like, it's probably both, because her dad was on her, but he knew what he had. Okay. So I'm sorry, I got a little bit off of track. So next thing you know, that's when, like I said, we meet Ruth Bowen. And after everything, Aretha goes outside after she hearing all the smart remarks from her brother, her sister. They talking about Ted. She goes outside. She takes a break because everything is so much going on. Okay. So then it flashes to Aretha at the piano. She's singing with her sister. Okay. They having some jokes back and forth. They singing and everything like that. So next thing you know, Jerry Wexler calls and he basically tells her, I need you to come back to New York. And she like, I can't come back right now. We also see Franklin, Mother Franklin, CL's mother, her grandmother. And, she like, I can't leave. You know what I'm saying? I just got back home because pretty much Mama Franklin was the one that was raising her two little boys at the time or whatever. And she like, I just got here. But Jerry like, look, you got a #1 hit. You need to get back in this studio. So she lets the whole house know. They all so happy, so excited and everything like that. So she goes back to New York. As she goes back to New York or whatever, let me see. Okay. So as she goes back to New York and everything like that, Ted want to appear his sorry ass back, whatever, it was Valentine's Day. And he ended up bringing her some fucking flowers. She kissed him or whatever. They back together now. Ruth sitting up there looking at him like, nigga, because they were best friends. She looking at him like, nigga, oh, here we go. And so when he come in the studio, she like, okay, that was a nice touch. And then he like, so you really think that you can manage her better than me? And Ruth was like, Ted, we can both manage her. So I kind of found that to be a little shady or whatever, because she basically like, nigga, I'm trying to do this. I know you ain't shit, but nigga, you not about to get me out the pot, okay? I know you ain't shit. You already know what I'm on, but we real close. We real cool. We both gonna get this motherfucking money, nigga. Calm the fuck down, okay? That's basically what the fuck she was saying to him. So she performed and everything like that. Next thing you know, all her songs starting to make it on the charts. She doing photo shoots and everything. They got news headlines. This Negro girl is, she popping up. She having a pop star, everything. She popping, she blowing up. So it goes back to where she's getting ready. She getting ready to go on stage or whatever and stuff, okay? And it kind of flashes back to what we saw in the beginning. She's sitting in there And she trying to get ready and shit. Ted walk his punk ass up in there. And he like, yeah, you know, we really done got it together, this and that. And she like, we? Like, nigga, this me. And it kind of reminded me of that scene that happened in What's Love Got to Do With It. That kind of threw me off because I'm like, I know they ain't sitting up there trying to, hey, Johnny Maxter, I know they ain't trying to recreate that. But that's what it put me in the mind of when Tina was sitting there with the electric wig or whatever. She was putting her lipstick on, basically was telling, you know, I pulled out the gun. That's what it reminded me of. But anyway, he's sitting up there and she basically was matter of fact, like, Ted, I want a divorce. I want a divorce. And he like, why? You know, why you want a divorce? And she like, I can't do this shit no more. I just want a fucking divorce. I'm done. You know, so of course he feeling all certain type of way and shit. You know, he get to yelling insults at her and all type of shit. So then he ends up hitting her. He ended up punching her. So she punched his motherfucking ass back. So they in the dressing room, they fighting back and forth. So then it flashes to Aretha being back on stage. We go back to the beginning. Okay. So after she get finished performing, they come up. Jermaine Dupri played some type of radio show host. He come up and they basically crown her the Queen of Soul. So she got her crown on. She got the flowers. You know, she trying to be gracious. She on stage and everything. And so she's sitting up there. She looking at all the applause like she just got this great thing. And next thing you know, she just walks off the stage. Walks off the stage real quick. Thank you, Apple Sister. She walks off the stage very, you know, just walking off. And so people are trying to call her. They like, Aretha. Jerry trying to call her. Ted following up behind her. And she just goes to her dressing room and slams the fucking door. And then she ends up on the back of the door. Now, if you remember at the beginning of the episode, that's where we see her. After she's answering the questions, we see her on the door. So it goes back to that. And she got this crown on, she got these flowers, and she just so sad. So you hear Ted White, he constantly banging on the door. What you gonna do without me? Why would you do this stuff? You ain't gonna be able to make it, all this stuff. She sit down. She light her Newport 100 in the box. And she starts to wipe the makeup from around her eyes. And as she wipes the makeup from around her eyes, you see she has a black eye. So she can't even enjoy this moment because pretty much she done had to put on, because remember they got in a fight. So he fucked her face up, which what a lot of people had to go through, a lot of performers. Been and got beat up by their husbands, managers, all type of shit. And they have to put on this damn makeup and take their ass back onto the stage as if they're not human. And they have to perform. You get what I'm saying? So she wiping it off and tears just rolling down her face. And that is where the episode ends. It was very important, and I'm going to tell you why. Because it also symbolized the way that Aretha lived her life. Aretha was very private. Aretha was all about appearances. Again, you will see somebody who was confident, can sing her ass off. Very matter of fact about answering whatever, very to the point, but inside was a very scared, insecure, sad little girl who was forced to grow up too fast, who sang too much, who had this gift. But even in spite of having this gift, had to have so much pain in the process of carrying that, okay? So it was very, very sad the way that it ended. And that's pretty much what happened. Okay, guys? So I was like, damn. But that ended up being the thing of her whole life. She was all about perfection. She would not tell you her deepest secrets or whatever. Just Lovely, shut up. Shut up, okay? So what did you guys think about it? Thank you guys. I tried to do my best, okay? I tried to do my best. I wrote so many notes, but when I was writing it, I was at work, okay? I was at work and I'm sitting up there trying to drive a forklift and write notes or whatever. And I have beautiful writing, but this shit was all over the place. But literally, guys, pages of notes, pages of notes. So I promise on the next review it will be better, okay? And I had a shit more together, okay? But thank you guys so much. Again, please make sure to check out Genius Aretha. Check out all the episodes. We will do the next episode. Probably will be next Sunday. I may do the next episode next Sunday, or it will be a little sooner than that. But if I don't do it by sometime this week, if I have time, I will do it on Sunday again. We will go through each episode. I think it's very important that we go through each episode so that we can really get the gist of everything that is going on or whatever and stuff. So you can watch it on National Geographic or you can watch it on Hulu, like everybody is saying. Thank you to everybody who super chatted, who cashed app, who joined the membership. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it so much. You said you was heartbroken though. I know it is very sad. And I mean, if you have not watched it, it's going to get very, very sad. All right. But thank you guys so much for that. Thank you, Sam. I am. Oh, and I forgot one thing, guys. Okay. And thank you. Don't beat me up too damn much. Wait, hold on. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. Because I forgot to do the giveaway. Hold on. Let me get the box. 1 second, guys. All right, here I come. I'm back. Oh, I'm back. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I'm back, guys. Okay. So basically, get this damn thing out the way. Anyway, it's just gonna have to be like that. Okay, so we're gonna do our giveaway. Now, this is just an example of the NAG Champa. This is the 32-ounce bottle. This is not what I'm giving away. I told you guys I'm going to give you guys $15. Whoever comes out the box, I'm gonna give you $15 in order to get the sample pack. The sample pack is 6 little 2-ounce bottles of every aroma that they have. This is the cleaning product I've been telling you guys about that I have been swearing by, called Good Vibes. I was supposed to do it the other day, but I had forgot or whatever. So I just thought about it now, like, let me do it now. So I'm about to pull a name out of the box and it's $15 with no shipping. Okay. So that will be the giveaway for tonight. So I'm going to pull from the box that I have. So you guys ready? Some musician from the road. I think the guy at the party, were they? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. Let me answer that question. I got that. I wrote the notes down for that, guys. I did write the notes down for that. Now, when it comes to the father of her first child, it was a rumor that was going around saying that it was by her father. Okay. That's what the long rumor was. But when it came to David Ritz, when he interviewed the brother and the sisters, he said that they said that that was a lie. And he said that he actually believed them because of the fact that they had been so honest about a whole bunch of other things. They just did not see them lying about that. So the first guy was somebody she went to high school with. They're saying for the first father. Wait, hold on, guys. Hold on 1 second. Melvin here. Hold on. I can actually use you to do your part that you need to do. Hey guys, okay, I'm back once again. Sorry. That's why I was trying to do it earlier. I got my little background all messed up and stuff. It just is what it is, child. But either way, okay. So yes, back to the fathers. I promise next episode will be more together. Okay, I had a lot going on today. Okay, so in the book it says that Cecil basically said that the first father was a guy that Aretha went to high school with. That she went to high school with. It wasn't serious or whatever. Of course, it couldn't be at 12. But I find that to be weird now looking at it because, of course, we know we watching the series, but it's like on a series, they make it seem like she got pregnant while she was on the road. So that's kind of weird. Okay. And then the second guy name was Edward or whatever. Okay. Yeah. Edward Jr. Edward Jordan Jr. Senior or whatever. Yes. So they say that was by, two guys or whatever. But yes, Johnny Mac, either the father or Sam Cooke. I want to say it was Sam Cooke because I know she did sleep with Sam Cooke while she was on the road. Yeah, her first child she got pregnant at 12, had the child at 13, and then she had her second son when she was 15 years old or whatever. But anytime anybody asked her about the fathers of her children, she never said anything about it. But yes, it was a rumor that it was the father and it was Sam Cooke, but it was the father. But a lot of people, the family, of course, denied that, which I figured they probably would deny it. Melvin, yeah. Come here. Okay. I need you to help with a giveaway. Okay, come on. Hey, say hi, everybody. Hi. Okay, so you got to pick a name for us to give them a giveaway. Okay. Yes, I forgot who here. But yes, Sam Cooke. Okay, you got the one that you picked for the giveaway? They said, hey, Melvin. Hey. Can you understand mommy's writing? Oh, baby mama. Okay, Fee O'Brien. Okay, Fee O'Brien, you are the winner of the sampler pack of the vibes. Okay, so Fee O'Brien. So baby mama text me so that I can send you the gift card or whatever so you can go ahead and get your good vibes. So she is the winner of this time of it, okay? And I'll be doing another one soon as well. I'll probably do one the next time we do an episode. But is there any more questions or do you guys want to come up and say anything before I end this live or whatever? Let me see. I'm sorry. I know this live was all over the place. It was all over the place. I was trying to make sure I got groceries done on time and dinner done on time and everything done on time. Okay. So, but next time it'll be more organized. Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching. My kid, I did fine. Okay. Thank you, S. Douglas. And also too, me and S. Douglas will be doing a live. I asked her to help me because she had a great idea about talking about toxic mothers. That'll be something else that we will be doing very soon. I'm going to get with her because I would love for her to do it with me. S. Douglas has a lot of great ideas, and I do want her to do that with me if she's comfortable. So I want to get with her so we can talk about how we want to do it. And then we're going to get up, and that's going to be another thing we're going to do. Have you heard about the stories about her and Etta James? Yes, I have, Johnny Mac, sir. Inside of the book with David Ritz, he basically talked about all of that. He interviewed Etta James, and she told it all. She basically said that was not uncommon at them times for them to be young and be doing adult stuff, like they wanted to be grown. And She said that Aretha loved older men. But if you want to spill something else to it, Johnny Mac, get on up here because I know you be having the tea. Hey, hey, Just Lovely.
Hey girl.
How are you, my love?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. What you got to add? What you want to say about the entire situation?
Okay, so we're on episode 1. And
Yes.
episode 1, it was really interesting. I really do like the way that they're doing the series with the back and forth of the adult Aretha and the childhood Aretha. I
Yes.
think that really, made it interesting. And I think that when it comes to Oh, Sophie. I think when it comes to the father of the first child, the way
Yes.
that the series indicate, they make it seems as though it was on the scene when they was at that hotel and she went in to party with the people and
Yeah.
that first guy gave her the drink and the other guy. So
Yeah.
I hated that they didn't really elaborate on that, but that's what I see.
Yeah. It was something that she, like I said, when the real Aretha is described, she's described as being very, very private. Because if you notice, when she had that scene with Ruth Boeing, when Ruth Boeing was basically asking her questions concerning her child, and Aretha shut her down. Remember, Ruth Boeing said to her, you know, I will present to the world whatever Aretha that you want me to present. And then remember, Aretha looked at her and said, you know, my marriage is perfect, my kids are perfect, and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And she was basically letting her know, like, look, we gonna lie. You gonna be a professional liar for me. I'm not about to tell the goddamn truth. And Ruth pretty much agreed to that. Um,
Right.
that's how it was. Hey, Miss Patrice. Miss Patrice. I can't hear you if you saying something, Miss Patrice. Can you hear me? Unmute yourself, Miss Patrice. Because I can't hear you. Unmute yourself.
And one other thing before I'm gonna go ahead and jump down, but
Okay.
oh, she left. Okay, but I just wanted to say that the series was a big interest to me, and I couldn't wait for it to come out because if I ever fanned out over anyone, it had always been Aretha,
Yeah,
and oh, I'm so hurt.
I
And I
know.
read the book also. And, me reading the book, I was hurt because I just always really did. I really loved Aretha. And, just to get a glimpse of how she actually grew up. Because I think when I had first realized who Aretha was, I went off the fact that, oh, her father he's a minister.
Yeah.
And then I read that book. I was like, oh,
Yeah, it was a lot of stuff going on again. I tell you guys. Oh, dang, Johnny Mac, that's why you can't tell us nothing. Dang. Johnny Mac. Okay, you don't have to say nothing on here. But whenever I meet you, I'm gonna try to get it out of you.
okay, we're gonna
You know,
drag it out
you
of
know I ain't gonna say nothing. You know I ain't gonna say nothing, but I want to know the real tea. But yes, yeah, a lot of them were forced to deal with a lot of things very, very early. And we've heard a lot of singers, like if you guys remember Helen Baylor. If you listen to her testimony, she says in her testimony that, you know, she was 12 and 13 years old being in a nightclub, you know, and
yeah,
drinking and getting high and everything, you know, and to me, it still happens. We
it
still have
does.
a lot of young people, especially if they have a talent, they have a gift. It's as though they are willing to overlook certain shit or not watch over them as they should because of the fact they trying to get whatever they can get, pull what they can pull out of that person's gift, and not respecting the fact that these are still a little kid. These different circumstances the hours y'all had them working, the things y'all having them see. They're just like Aretha. She never completed school. She dropped out after she had her second child. She was the only one out of the kids that never graduated high school, never went to college. And her family, her sisters was saying that was also another source of insecurity for her because they all went and got their degrees and she didn't have that. So that was another insecurity up under her belt after everything she already went through.
Right. Just look at the Disney kids of today. I mean, of the past too. These kids go through a whole lot when they're in the industry.
Yeah.
And I think that social media kind of ruined fandom for me because I know as a kid, I was interested in a whole lot of celebrities and um just being on social media and you could just really kind of see their day to day because of what they post. It kind of ruins it for everybody.
And in his case, he done had just like Rizzo was saying, that dad should have let her finish. That teacher was going to work with her. The thing is, and there's no excuse in his case because he had the money. This man had Aretha, even when she had her baby. In the book, they said that she was living in a brand new mansion.
Yep.
She, it wasn't like she was this teen mother who didn't have no help. She had so much help, so much money, just everything. And he told her in the scene that she wasn't going to stop school, but that's what ended up happening after she had her second child. It's just very sad, the things that people with talent have to go through, and just how they are not looked and cared for. And the daddy, he was too busy doing his own damn thing to even watch out for her. But then also too, the women that she was left around, they wasn't no better either because they was pretty much trying to do whatever to do to get under with her daddy. So it was like she was being pulled back and forth between both worlds. And to me, all of the adults were being very just inappropriate.
Yeah, they were.
And
we'll see that later.
Drink all types of stuff.
We'll see that later in the because I think last night I had started to go to episode 4.
Yeah,
but, it kind of jumped straight to the first episode just really showed us, the inappropriateness of it all. So it just never did get it just didn't get better. I went from episode 1, 2, and 3 and I was like, oh my goodness, what?
And it's even sadder because, and I think they lived in a richer part of Detroit. And the thing is this, with me listening to the book. I loved listening to the book. Whoever the narrator was absolutely spot on fucking perfect. I mean, just perfect. I love David Ritz anyway. He wrote for Marvin Gaye, Divided Soul. That was an excellent book. I feel like he was the one that really, really broke down what was really going on with Marvin Gaye, the family, and everything. That's another thing that we will do. I also have another one that I listened to on Luther Vandross. We're going to get into that. So it's a lot of different conversations like this we're going to have. But listening to what he had to say in the book and even listening to it again is so graphic. But actually watching this at the same time, don't it make it kind of like more intense to you?
It really does.
Don't it make it more intense to even though it's not telling the exact thing.
Right. You could tell it skips a few
things.
And that's what I was saying in the beginning. I knew what to expect, but it just brought it to life.
Yeah.
Brought it to life. And I guess we'll see.
I will, Rizzo. I'll post them on my community wall after we get off of here. But Divided Soul by David Ritz, that was about Marvin Gaye. It was really, really good. It was really good. It broke down just a lot of great things because I've read a lot of novels concerning Marvin Gaye and I feel like his was the best. I also read the one that was by his wife, Jan Gaye. That was a great book as well. That was very, very juicy. Okay. And David Ritz was writing Jan Gay wrote that herself, but David Ritz was actually was writing the book with Marvin, and Marvin ended up getting killed while he
Yeah.
was writing the book, so he had to finish it. The one with Luther Vandross was I gotta find the one with the Luther Vandross, but it was very interesting. How a lot of these stars also too, they go through so much pain, or they escape into these secret worlds, and they come alive through their creativity, through their voices, through their singing. So definitely that's something we're going to get into as well. A lot of things that we're going to get into, guys, concerning just the different content that I do. I am going to swing a lot of it towards music because it's something that I love. I know that you guys love.
Yes.
I'm trying to get the tea when it comes to a lot of these artists that we grew up listening to. I said that's what I need to bring to this channel because it's something that I love. I listen to all the time. And I know that a lot of you guys would appreciate that. What do you think, Just Lovely, as you listening? Do you like content like that?
I love it. And I am so happy that you brought this to your channel.
Thank you.
Because I was going, I knew I was going to watch it. And usually when I am interested in stories or shows, I love to go and see people's opinions, and look at the reviews or whatever.
Yes.
And I really am not a TV show watcher, and I knew I had to watch this. So
Yeah.
I appreciated you doing this for us. I do.
No, I appreciate you guys and the support, and thank you, Sam. I am. And it's something that I have been wanting to do. I just have to get out of because I have to learn how to stop trying to have everything perfect. Because when I'm just talking like one-on-one to somebody, I'm able to shoot out them facts like that. But if for some reason when I get on here, I'm still trying to get over okay, and you see I'm looking at, so next time I promise, guys, I'm gonna have it together to where I'm gonna have my notes, but I ain't gonna be so dependent upon them. I got it drilled in my head, guys, but y'all telling me that I did good, so thank you so much. No, I did not watch the Tina one. I have to I'm gonna watch that one next or whatever. I'm gonna have to wait to watch that one because I want to be fully engrossed within this Aretha thing so that I can go ahead and deliver out the parts of this that I want to deliver for you guys. And I need to be focused on that because especially with me liking certain people, and like Just Lovely said, she was very emotional when it came to a lot of the stuff in this stuff. I can't handle Tina's emotions and Riri's sadness at the same time. So one got to wait, and Tina gonna have to wait. We on Auntie Riri right now. Okay.
Thank you. So I thank you I thank you so much for this content. It's quite interesting, and I'm sure everybody agreed with me. And you did a fabulous job. And I'm gonna send you something after your live, and it's gonna freak you out.
Okay.
And it has to do with Little Ree.
Oh, okay. Okay, perfect. Yes, make sure you send it to me. I would love to.
I started to send it while you were live, and I wanted to see your reaction, but it was scary to me.
Oh God. What do I have? Wait, it's my phone. Melvin, do you see mommy phone? You know your mommy getting old. I don't know where I put my phone at. Do you see it? Do you know where it's at?
Yes.
Oh God.
Yes, it's right there. Yes. There it is. Yes. Why are you putting, Mom?
It just blended in.
Why my phone right in front of me?
It blended in. That same thing happened to me earlier today. My phone blended in with my dining room table, and I swear I looked over there twice. I swear someone put it over there while I wasn't looking.
That was so embarrassing. Thank you.
But I'm gonna jump down.
It was literally, I told y'all I've been on overplay child. I'm trying to get y'all good content. I'm trying to be a mom, I'm trying to do everything. Okay. It was right in front of me.
I'm gonna jump down, and I want to tell everybody, to have a great night. And I thank you for having me come on.
You're welcome. And thank you so much for being here. You've always been supportive, and I appreciate you. Just love you. And you got a birthday coming up, don't you, Queen?
Ooh, April the 14th.
All right, April the 14th, Just Lovely birthday will be coming up. She also is going to have a wish list present on her channel, so make sure that you guys watch out for that. Just Lovely is always bringing great ideas just to everybody, great fun things to do. So we definitely will be supporting you. I love you, Just Lovely, and have a good night.
Love you too. Bye. And thank you for mentioning my little wish list.
You're welcome,
It's
Queen.
weird, y'all. It's weird. All right.
Go on there and see what's on there.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye. Okay, Leo, can you tell Phi Babe I want to marry her? Yes, I will tell Phi Babe that you want to marry her. Okay. I'm every woman. Child. Thank you, Detroit 313. These people are crazy. Read your comment. Okay, where is it, Johnny Mac, sir? Let me look up. And I want Johnny Mac to still be to come and do content with me. I love him. The more you do it, the more natural you become. You've got this, Queen. Thank you, Johnny Mac, sir. See, that's why I love Johnny Mac. Thank you. You're welcome, Corey C. Cub Thompson. I will let her know. Phi Babe, if you happen to look at this broadcast, C. Cub wants to marry you, okay? He wanted to make it plain and simple. He want to marry you, and he's going to be waiting your response, okay? So other than that, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go. Leo tied. Leo is tied, child. I'm going to wrap these locks up because I need to do them one day, and I'm just going to relax. Thank you, guys. I love you guys. Have a good night. Bye.